All right, Thomas, thank you so much for taking your time out to talk to me today and welcome. If you want to start out by telling me and the viewers a little bit about yourself first.
Well, Thomas from Belgium, 36 years old, company owner of two businesses. I'm an expert in legal subsidies, legal court rulings about automotive cases, and I
Hmm.
have a second business in hydrogen engines.
That's cool. So you're a busy man already.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So you have your own company. But I still want to ask you, as self-employed, how do you fit trading into your everyday life?
Well, I know from a fact that doing only businesses will not make it happen on the long run. So you have to reinvest your money or make money work for you. And that's why I think a small year ago I started focusing on how this can be made happen. And then I found out all kinds of different trading groups. And one of the best was, you, Fred Trading.
Appreciate it,
And
man.
that's when so a little bit 7 or 8 months ago, I started with following the signals. At first, it was not that easy, let's say, because it's
Mhm.
if it would that would be that easy, everybody would do it.
Of course.
But if you stick to the rules, if you stick to the knowledge that is out there on the long run, it will work.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you gotta figure out how it works and figure out all the what works for you and all these kind of things.
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah.
people probably fail in the beginning, but you gotta stick and be consistent, right? And then it
And the
always.
sticking part is something you need to do for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure, man. So you've been part. When did you say you joined for trading again?
I think a small year ago, but intensively using it for 7 or 8 months.
Okay, okay. And you've been part of other trading groups also besides Fed Trading, right?
Yeah, for sure. A lot.
A lot of them I can
I,
hear.
I I tried everything. No, that's my point of view of doing business. Somebody out there will have more experience in you for sure when you even start, but it's also doing other kinds of business stuff. So you find out, you test things, and then you come to to the conclusion that there's shit out there and that there are better ones, you know. And you're obviously one of the better ones for sure.
I appreciate that, brother. It's always funny because I like to ask people about their other experiences in training groups without mentioning names. Obviously, we
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
names in other groups, but I just talked to two people before you, and none of them have been in any other trading group ever. Like they joined mine and they've never been in
Ah,
any.
they're lucky bastards.
Yeah, so it's always fun when I get to interview someone who's been in a lot of trading groups, right? So
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
funny to hear what the difference is and how, what
Yeah.
are we doing that's better than the other people and what's not working for them or what's working for us.
Well, like you said yourself, I'm a business owner, so I know that from a fact you're also doing business. There is some kind of a way that you earn your living also, and that's
Of course.
fine by me for sure. And I know how you do it, and it's perfectly fine. And if you organize a group where you send out signals, and obviously on a specific moment, people are going to invest their own money. But if
Hmm.
you're just focusing on letting people invest that money, and if they burn up their account, you just start looking for other people and not helping those people out, or for sure explain what they did wrong and how they can, yeah, learn from it and create wealth from themselves. Yeah, then it's not really a business that they're doing. Then it's rather a scam, let's say. You know,
Yeah, I agree.
it is what it is. And if you're new in these kind of things, all new things are tough or hard. But if you start up with a couple of groups and you think that that is the truth, what they're saying right there,
Hmm.
yeah, then you're just starting with completely wrong information. And if that information becomes your truth, yeah, then you're you're starting off from the beginning. You're lost, even without knowing you're lost. So yeah, it's like driving in England on the right side of the road. If you do not know that it's the left side, you can do everything right. But if you only do not know that rule or that law, yeah, then you're it will not go wrong good with you.
That's true, man. It's a good analogy because I'm also curious, like the other groups you've been part of, do they have a live like chat where you can talk to people? Do they give you actual education? Do they do live trading? Or are they
There are
just
not
going
there
to
there
get
are
a
not a
group?
lot of Yeah, there are not a lot of groups like you that hand out a course. That's not. They sometimes they do lives and they explain a little some stuff, but that's not something new. You can find that also on YouTube, etc.
Yeah.
So not really valuable there. And the most common thing that I hated is I do my own trades also. I learned from you. I learned from Artesh. I do my own trades also. And there are only two options. Option number one, you did it wrong. Eh? The things you saw on the graphs were not good. So you say to yourself, okay, that trade was not good, and you hit stop loss or you jump out of it. So that's option one. Option two is your charge. You look at the charge were good, and the trade was good, so you're going into profit. And for you as a professional trader, it's the same. There are no option number three, four, five. It are those two. And if you make a wrong analysis of the chart, you just say, okay, I was wrong here. Sorry, guys, we hit stop loss. Up to the next one. But what I see in other groups is that they keep on explaining why it was a good trade, etc., etc. If it was a good trade, then on my screen I need to see blue numbers, not red numbers. It's as simple as it is. That's not rocket science, you know?
For sure. I mean, we
Yeah,
always try to admit if we do something wrong. Like you can, because we're only humans, and sometimes there's something
for
you miss,
sure.
all these kind of things, right? But sometimes, I mean, sometimes you can have all the things to line up, and it just doesn't work out because there's some news coming out that you didn't notice, or some small detail you didn't notice, right? And it's important to be transparent, and we always try to do that.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I do the live trading, because I want to show. Because I take the trades exactly live with
Mm.
people on the live trade, right? It cannot be pretended or scammed or cheated like in any single way. So that I like to do that to show people the transparency about it and show exactly how I find trades and when I get in, when I get out, all these kind of things. And yeah, I hope people take a lot of value from that as well.
I hope that people understand the value because if I can also imagine if you were not in previous groups and you cannot compare with other groups, I see all those reactions that people get pissed off when a trade
Yeah.
is not going well. I'm like, my God, I want to pull those people out of the computer. You know what I mean? It's just be polite. It is what it is. Yeah. And
It's funny.
obviously, you overtrade it for sure. Otherwise, no harm done if something goes wrong for once or twice.
Mhm. It's funny you say that because we have a lot of first timers who join this group first, right? And then if you hit one or two trades, you have a week sometimes where you hit a few trades in a row,
Yeah.
stop loss, right? And those people get mad. They go out, they find other groups, they figure out every other group is actually 10 times worse than ours, and then they come
And
back.
they come back.
They were so mean to me. They're like, and I actually removed them from the group because I don't tolerate people talking to me like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, right? And then they come back, oh, I'm so sorry. Every other group is so shit. I want to get back in. I'm like, dude, I told you this. Like, honestly, I'm sure
Yeah.
there's other groups that's good out there, but there's just not that many of them. Like, you have to really look around and find this.
Yeah, it's true. True.
You've been part of the group for a year now,
Yeah,
almost.
8 months. Actively 8 months, let's say.
Yeah. And what did you start out with when you started out trading, and what are you at now? Your capital?
I started with 200. I lost it all a couple of times. And from this morning, I went over 1,200 in personal profit, and I have a funded account. Yeah, it's a big goal, but I need to reach there 20 to get it completely funded. But there I already have over 12K. So if you count it up altogether, it will be over 13K.
Over
So
30K?
over 13.
13? That's
Yeah.
still pretty damn impressive, man, especially with
Yeah.
the funded account. Way to go, brother.
Yeah. The funded account, you know what it is? Obviously, the goal is the same. Eh? You want to reach a specific number. And you also pay for the funded account part. But because the amount that you pay is not that high, so it's not indirect or directly your personal money, the
Hmm.
stress goes a little bit away, if you know what I mean.
For
And
sure.
if something that you cannot have when you're trading, then it's stress.
Hmm.
Then you make the wrong mistakes always. So you cannot trade with stress, and you can go to higher trades of higher values in trading when you have the funded account without the same stress as you're doing 0.1 lot with your 200K $200 account where you started with. So yeah, that's also something that I learned.
For sure. I just had another interview before you, and we actually also talked about funded accounts because he asked me a question about what I think about funded accounts. And in short terms, what I said is I think if you have a smaller capital, if you only have a few hundred or few thousand to invest, then it's probably a good idea to one have a small personal account. It can be only $500, that's fine, but that's more of like to learn consistency,
Hmm.
be consistent profit, right? Right. And then have a funded account. And then what I did when I started out also was I had a funded account. I took all the profits I made on the funded account, every single dollar. I didn't spend a dollar of it, and I put it straight into my personal account.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
I grew a big account was to one, trade my personal account myself and compound that. And two, take all the profits I had from the funded accounts and put straight into my personal account. And then I grew my personal account to $1 million. And then that's what I've been trading with for the past
Yeah.
1.5 years.
Yeah. I tried demo accounts, but that doesn't work for me because it's too much of a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You lost a couple of hundred. Okay, now I'm gonna overtrade and I make instead of 0.04 lot, I'm just gonna do 0.08. Okay, yeah, I won. You know what I mean? But that's not real life enough for me. So I need to have some kind of a value that you feel the same stress, you need to use the same strategy,
Yes.
and then funded works. And we're gonna do this, like you said. I'm gonna add if I have the value, the profits there. I'm gonna invest them in the personal one, and if over a couple of weeks or months I feel more comfortable, I have more money to invest. So I will do. But first, I want to get all the knowledge, and I want to know everything that's there, and then we'll go from there on. I will
For
see.
sure.
It will work around. It will work.
For sure. There's a lot of traders that's saying, start on a demo account, learn out. I'm the complete opposite, and it goes against the norm a little bit, but I hate demo
Yeah.
accounts. I hate when
Yeah.
people say try a demo account because the number one thing about trading, like the number one thing that makes trading hard is emotions. And
Yes.
and if you have a demo account, you take all emotions out of trading. And
Yep.
literally the hardest part of trading, you're just removing from the whole equation. So if you maybe you can like do 1,000% profit on a demo account, but I can assure you cannot do that once you switch to a
Yeah.
live.
It's the value there is zero. Yeah, it's true. And if you blow it up, okay, yeah, you blow it up. You press start again.
A new one, right?
Yeah, yeah, but that doesn't work in real life like this. Okay, yeah.
No, because
So
you don't have
I
infinite
completely agree.
money on your real bank account, right? So you can't do that. And that's why
I
that's
would like to be like that. I value people that can do
of
that,
course.
do it like that. Like really invest daily in, daily out on the demo code. Okay, I gained 3%. Okay, I gained 5%. But for me, that's like yeah, playing PlayStation. So I prefer doing that.
I agree with you. I can't do that either. And that's why I always say that I think you should. A lot of people don't realize this, but once, because the minimum deposit to be part of my group is $350, $500,
Mm-hmm.
something like that, right? And I know that you're not going to be a millionaire by starting out with $500. But what a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand is the $500 you start out with, that's not the money that's going to make you rich. The whole point of that is you have a small account, you learn how to trade, you learn how to be consistently profitable. And once you can make a consistent 10, 20, 30% a month on a $500 account, you can do the same shit on a $500,000
Yeah,
account,
that's
right?
true. That's true.
Once you learn the skill on a small account, you can go ahead, invest more money. If you don't have more
Yeah,
money,
yeah,
put it into a funded account, and then just do the same shit. And that's what people don't understand. It's not the
yeah.
first 100 that makes you rich, but that makes you a good trader.
Yeah, it's true. And if you have the emotion with a smaller value or a smaller amount, you will have the same emotions if the number goes up. If you gain it yourself, it will work.
For sure. I mean, dude, I have a lot of money, but if I trade on a $500 account or a $5,000 account, I know it doesn't mean as much to me as for somebody where it's all their money, but I still have the emotions if it's real money. Like, it
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't matter how big the account is, but you have the emotions in your trading. Even if it's a small account, it just has to be a real money live account.
true.
For sure, man. What is your goals with trading, Thomas?
Well, when I'm working as an expert in the automotive business,
Hmm.
in for courts, etc., that's a business that always went well, and it's ramping up a lot. But the business of the hydrogen engines, yeah, it's green energy. And I founded the company in 2019. I needed to exit one of my partners in the business, and my other partner, the guy who wrote this book, died of cancer last year. So I lost him for more than a year, and now I'm alone in the business. And that part of my self-employment was not something that I chose for. You know what I mean? That
Mm-hmm.
was not the goal of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to work and push this company through for, let's say, a couple of more months or years, but I'm not going to maintain this pace for this company for the next 3 to 5 years and maintain at the same revenue. You know? Starting up a business, I've done it. It's hard, you know it. It's always hard. The first couple of months or years, it looks like you're walking or running a marathon every day. But after a couple of months or after a couple of years, it needs to get a little bit of a pace, and it needs to be a little bit, yeah, automated, let's say. And for the second business, that's not the way it goes right now. So to give you an honest answer, one of my goals is to make trading part of my income stream, part of my life also. And like I said to you, I've been to Dubai 4 times. I like to travel. And so I'm also looking for business opportunities that you can do from wherever the fuck you want or wherever you are. And the legal part, I can also do it from a distance because I need to visit the car or the people. I need to look at it. But after that, I need to type out files and dossiers. And trading is the same. You can do it from a distance whenever you want, wherever you are. So yeah, and it's a big challenge, and I like challenges. So
I like that. I like that, man. Also, I mean, you're off to a good start, brother. You've only been training actively for 7 or 8 months, and you're already up 13,000. Was it dollars, euros, pounds, something like this? It's still super impressive, man. And I would say it's a much better start than I had when I started trading. I can assure you that because the first year I did not make 13,000.
no, but I came from also a big gap. I went like this, huh? So
Mhm.
and yeah, there
You're
would be better starts. There would be better starts if you would learn or if you would do it like the rules determine from day one. Let's say almost everybody would have profit, or let's say more than 50% would have profit.
Mhm.
But you do not do that, huh? A 0.08 lot sounds nicer than a 0.01 lot, huh?
Yeah, it does
But you do not gain nothing with it. You only lose with it. It's
for
so
sure.
funny, actually. That's
Well,
contradictorial in trading, huh?
yeah, it is, man. But
Yeah.
honestly, dude, also it's so important to have a good community. Like it doesn't have to be mine, it can be anyone. It's just important to have a good community of people, to have the right knowledge, all these kind of things. Because I started out with absolutely no one, dude. Like I just went YouTube it and I looked at charts like 12 hours a day for like 2 years straight before I even started to make some decent money, right? And I did it all by myself, and I do not recommend doing it that way. I will say that.
No, it's stressful. It's stressful.
It's
Yeah.
stressful and you have no freaking idea what you're doing. Like you have to learn by yourself, and it's not a very good way to do it. So it's a lot better to find someone or some community that can help you for sure.
Yeah. I had those days that you look 14 hours to the charts, a little
Hmm.
bit profit, and then you end the day with a big loss, and you lost 14 hours of your day.
Yeah,
Money you can gain back, but time is gone, forever.
for sure, man.
And
For
if you
sure,
have
man.
that a couple of days after each other, then it starts to wear you out.
It does for sure. It does for sure. But I will also say, like, I mean, it's taken me a long time to get to where I am now, but I would much rather spend 3 years, 4 years, even 5 years to study the charts and become more and more profitable over time, build my capital, and then end up making like two, three, four, 500K a month, which I can easily do now every single month and do it from freaking everywhere in the world. I don't have, and dude, I hate having a boss. Like I couldn't do it. I always argue with my bosses. I'm not, I don't work that well. So for me, it's so nice to have the freedom to like. There's nobody who's gonna tell me what to do. I can go to freaking. I went to Maldives in November last year. Last year,
Hmm.
I made 100K trading in freaking Maldives, dude, in the most beautiful place on earth,
Yeah, yeah.
close to my girlfriend. Nobody tells me what to do. I'm on a 5-star hotel. I make 100K in that week as well. You can trade from anywhere. I freaking love it, dude. Like the freedom that comes with
It's
it.
true.
I can never do anything else now.
Yeah, I
That's
understand. Self-employment it gives you freedom, huh? This is what it is.
for sure, man. For sure. And instead of, because I have an AP in financial management, right? And I would rather have spent those few years trading than studying something
Yeah,
I'm never going to use, right? But you do what society tells you to do, right? And that's kind of what we're trying
at
to.
first you do, yeah.
That's kind of what we're trying to tell people that you don't have to do what society tells you to do, right?
Yeah, but yeah, okay. My father was a military guy, and my mother was a kindergarten teacher. And
Mhm.
if I remember the day when I came into my parents' house and I say I'm going to become self-employed, they were like, "Are you crazy? Go work for the government. That's better."
Exact same story with me, dude. Exact same story. My mom started crying when I quit my safe
Yeah,
job
yeah,
and told her I moved to Dubai. She was like, "No, don't do it."
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
just watch and learn. Watch, see me in 4 years, and then you're gonna take those words back.
But then you have to be confident about yourself, and that's also the hard part. You know what I mean?
For sure,
If
man.
you're into trading 1 or 2 years and you're still not profitable and you cannot make a living out of it, yeah, you need to maintain your pace. Huh? You need to keep believing in yourself. That's also not that easy.
But that's also why 80 to 90% of all traders lose money, dude, because they don't keep going for 1 to 2 years. They stop after a month
Mm,
if they lose money, right? And people are
yeah.
not consistent enough. People would rather sit on a school bench for 5 years to take a master degrees, where they pay like money to take that master degree, instead
Hmm.
of paying a little bit of money into your own trading, losing some money here and there because you're gonna blow a few accounts, right? And then just stay consistent. And then eventually you can end up making millions of dollars a year if you know what you're doing.
Hmm.
Most people
Hmm.
don't do that. That's why 80% lose.
Okay.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for talking to me. Do you have any questions you want to ask me before we hang up? Now you have me one on one.
Well, I think that's the million-dollar question that everybody asks you. I know a little bit about you, but can you just say in a couple of sentences how you started, how many years ago, how you did it yourself, etc.? I'm really interested in that.
Yeah, for sure. So I was in the army for 2.5 years, and then I was in the navy for 2.5 years after. And I actually really enjoyed that. It was nice, but I made probably a few K a month, right? It's fun while you're young, but it doesn't really get you anywhere. So I was kind of trying to find new ways to make money. But then I was like, maybe I should try getting into like real estate or banking. So I actually took a degree in an AP in financial management from a university in Denmark. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was probably there 10% of the time. I was
Mm,
because so it was under COVID, so it's everything was online back then, and I was trading while I was taking that education.
okay.
I was never there. I was just sitting and trading every single day while I was taking the financial education on the side, right? It was so stupid. And I just honestly, I cheated every single exam, like because it was online, because I didn't care about it. And dude, I've never used anything I learned in that degree, not a single thing at all. But I do like numbers and I saw the potential with trading. So I started trading while because I got ads as well, actually. It's so funny. Like people targeted me with ads also, trading groups, 6 years ago. Then I joined those,
Excuse me, what do you mean? What do you mean?
like people
People?
targeted me with Facebook ads,
Ah,
like
okay, yeah, yeah.
the way I do. So I joined a trading group. And I started small trading in that trading group. I thought it was interesting. And then I lost a lot of money while I was I started when I was in the Navy, lost a lot of money. I kept trading while I took the degree in finance. I started to make a little bit of money and I saw the potential in it. And then after my degree, I started working in a bank, in one of the biggest banks in Denmark. I made 3 grand a month. And the first month in my new job, I made $15,000 trading. And that's when I actually said, screw this, man. I just made a yearly salary in 1 month trading. So I
Yeah.
quit my job. I focused completely on trading back then. And then I just started slowly building up my capital. I used funded accounts, I used personal accounts,
Hmm.
built up my capital slowly, didn't take any money out. And then I moved to Dubai because I didn't want to pay tax. And then I would
Yeah.
say the last 2 years, is probably where I've made 90% of my money.
Yeah.
It all comes up to once you start having a big capital, because I've been trading full time for probably 5 years, but the first 3 years, I didn't make more than a few hundred K a year, maybe, right? And then once you build up the capital, then you can start making good money. And then the past 2 years, that's probably when I've made, I would say probably 95% of my money. Now can make up to 500 to 800 K a month trading.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice. Nice. What is for you, or from statistics point of view, what is an honest, a good, a safe percentage gain of an account on a daily or a monthly basis? I know that it's maybe not facts and figures, but
No, it's a good
just a
question.
personal.
It's a good question. And the funny thing is, I also talked to the other guy about this. And the funny thing is, for me, it depends on the trade and it depends on what I trade. For example, when I trade NAS 100 and DJ 30, I never risk more than 0.5% to 2.5% per trade on NAS 100 and DJ 30 because I scalp, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I scalp, I don't risk more than max a few percent because it goes very fast.
Mm-hmm.
I can take 10, 20 trades in a day sometimes. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it happens. But if I trade Forex, if I trade crypto, if I trade something that I have a long-term bias on, I don't mind risking. I don't use my big $1 million account then. Then I have a smaller account and I don't mind depositing 100K and risking 100% of my account.
I like that. Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of people
Understand.
are like, oh, you should keep a good risk, man. It depends on what you trade and it depends on how
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in your trade book. Because I don't know if you've been on my lives, but I can show you this account right here. This account right here, it's on
Mm-hmm.
around 500K now.
Mm-hmm.
I deposit, and I only trade crypto on this one. It's all crypto trades I have running right now.
Mm-hmm.
This one I deposited 100K 3 months ago, and I risked the entire account, 100% of the account on my first few trades because I know that maybe I'm going to blow the account 1 or 2 times, but I know I have the skill to 10x this account, right? So I don't care
Yeah.
if
I
I
understand.
do 2 or 300K
Yeah.
the first times because I'm going to make it into a million. That didn't happen. It went very well in the first time. So I deposited 100K, risked 100% of the account, and now it's sitting at, if I close the trades, 550K in 3 months. So I did
Mm-hmm.
550%. That would never happen if you risk 1% per trade, right?
No, no, for sure. Yeah, for
But
sure.
but this is crypto. This is because I'm very biased. I'm very biased on crypto. I knew it was going to blow up, so I didn't mind
Mm-hmm.
over leveraging and over risking like crazy here because I saw
Yeah.
the good risk reward potential. So on these kind of trades,
Yeah.
on gold sometimes I have an account where I risk 20%, 30%, 40%, not on one trade, but then I layer the trades if
Yeah.
gold.
You stack them up. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I don't mind go. But for me, as long as you calculate what you're gonna do, for example, when I layer a gold account and I risk 100K, I put an area where I know I can keep layering every like 50 or 100 pips, and then until it hits a certain area, then it's gonna liquidate the whole account. Like I don't just risk
Mm-hmm.
50% on one random trade someday. Like that's not how I
No,
do
no, I
it.
understand. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I would say if I scalp, I risk max a couple of percentages. If I swing trade, sometimes I risk 50% of the account, but that's not my
Mm-hmm.
main account. Then I have a second account to do that, right?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
So,
It's
so
like
yeah,
during
man.
the holidays, the numbers of gold and Bitcoin, etc. It was my first year that I knew from November, December. I was started reading about it, and you were also saying it. Hard is also that it happens every year. But
Mhm.
if you would have been smart, like you probably would have done, then it's just a waiting game. And the buy values that you had over there at that specific moment, that just gold. It's a boring time, but at that specific moment, it's a waiting game. And the money that you can make from December going over to January, it will not happen before December 2025, those values,
Mhm.
with those big potential gains. It's really interesting.
I mean,
So yeah.
there's always swap fees, overnight fees when you hold trades, but if you have a bias and you know it's gonna go over that,
Hmm.
I don't really care much about swap fees. Like for example, the Solana trade I just closed. I don't know if you saw it. I'm gonna show the Solana trade here. This Solana trade I just closed yesterday. I closed it in $114,000 profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been
Mm-hmm.
holding it for 1 month, and some of the swap fees here are, this one is $1,500.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
But
sounds like a
okay.
lot. And for me, when the trade was running in minus, yeah, you're like, oh, I have to pay another $1,500 in swap fees. But I know the potential. So these swap
Mm-hmm.
fees are nothing because I closed every trade in 25K profit. And okay, then they take $1,500 in swap fees because so many people complain about swap fees. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if you know what you're doing.
It's an investment for your profit. Yeah. No. No.
For
I
sure, man.
understand.
So
Yeah.
honestly, dude, when it comes to risking, a lot of people that don't know how to trade, they're like, oh, you should only risk 0.5% always.
Mm-hmm.
No, it depends on what you trade, what your bias is, and if it's a swing trade, if it's a scalp, if it's a trade you layer, and also keep your main account to the lower risks, the big account you have. Have a
Mm-hmm.
second account you can try to 10x if you have some bias
Mm-hmm.
on some pair for a swing trade like that. That's fine with
Yeah.
me.
Understood. Understood. Last question. Where did you get your knowledge? I know what you're going to say, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. But okay, where, how did you, yeah, ramp it up to some kind of a value that you can trust your knowledge that you have and go from there?
I have every single knowledge I've ever made for myself. And I'm not even gonna lie,
Okay.
dude. I
No,
haven't
no,
I haven't watched
understand.
much YouTube. I specialize in US 30, DJ 30, gold and oil. That's the four
Hmm.
things. And then I trade crypto in the bull seasons, but that's the only four things that I really trade almost every single week. And the way I got the knowledge is not from learning from someone. That's by looking at the screen every freaking day, 5 days a week
Hmm.
for 5, 10, 12 hours a day. Every single day at the same time when the US stock market opens, seeing what happens, writing down the trades you take, figuring out what works, what doesn't work. And if you look at a few different pairs every single day at the same time, at some point, you know what's going to happen. Like at least like two-thirds of the time.
Yeah.
So I would say if you want to be a full-time trader, pick max 4 pairs. Probably three is even better. Two, three, 4 pairs that you want to specialize in and only trade them. Only trade these pairs unless you see a good opportunity on crypto that I do now, right? Only trade these pairs every single day. And then once you look at the chart on the same pairs every day for a long amount of time, you're gonna know what happens at the end, bro.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because I
Yeah.
know what happens on SP on NAS100 and DJ30. Like when certain things happen, I know what's gonna happen like at least two-thirds of the time. And then if you can win two-thirds of those trades with a good risk reward ratio, you're gonna make money.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I have the same with gold. There were a couple of groups, and also you guys, that focus on gold, or at least some percentages. And all of a sudden, you're watching the gold chart for more than a year, and then you know, yeah, okay, we had a drop in December to 2,550, but yeah, we're not going to go to 2,300, to give you an example. It
Mm.
will never happen, or I don't know, something needs to blow up. But okay. So yeah, you start reading and knowing the charts. It's true. Yeah, understood.
For sure, man. And I really think you should just pick a few pairs that you focus on. That works for me. Because if you sit and scan the entire market every single day, you have no idea what, because you're not used to looking at the same chart every day, and you're
Yeah,
gonna
it's too much. Yeah.
pick a few pairs that you want to specialize in, and just focus on those pairs, man.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, brother, and I really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to me today. And yeah, man, if you have anything,
No
I'm always
problem.
wait.
If you would make a video out of this, or a short video, just make sure that I find it, so I can make also a living out of yeah, sending over the links to people and joining your group.
Send me I'm gonna post this interview on my YouTube and my website, but we're also gonna make some short content out of it.
Hmm.
Once I have that, just remind me. It's gonna take a few weeks, but remind me in a few weeks' time, and then I'm gonna send the content to you, so you also have it.
No problem. Just for your information, I live in Belgium. I have a huge network in Belgium, Europe. Some also guys international. If you need something, just ask. you never know that I can help you out. Okay.
I appreciate that, brother. And if you ever need anything in Dubai, you can also hit me up.
Yeah, for sure. I will be there. I will back. I liked it a lot when I was there 4 times. I liked it a lot.
For sure, man. One day, maybe. One day, maybe you'll move here. Who knows?
Who knows? Thanks. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day, brother.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye.